Hello, my name is Randy Dobson. I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area, and this video will be covering blocks. And I'm also going to do right blocks, W blocks on here at the same time because they are so similar. I don't think there's a need to separate them up. Uh, a block is what it implies. You're taking a bunch of small little individual things. Think of like Tonka toys or even a puzzle, and you're putting them together, and a block combines everything into one. Uh, and this can become an extremely powerful tool if you utilize it correctly. Uh, and understanding that a block is when you create something that stays in a drawing, and then a right block is something that you save outside of a drawing that you want to use in the future. Say like this little symbol I'm showing you here. This is in my business. This is a fire hydrant and a gate valve. Let me left off a little line here. Um, and this is a water line right here. So just to kind of show you how you create, we'll start with the block first because after that the right block is much easier. A block will take all pieces of information, a line, an arc, a circle, text, whatever, and it will combine it into one. As you can see here, when I go across, these are all separate items. Okay. When you come up here to insert, and it is create a block. And here you can create a block, a right block. We will be getting to that. Create a block. It needs three pieces of information. It needs a name, it needs a base point, and it needs objects, obviously. We're going to call this FH. I'll just say fire hydrant. So I've given it a name. Now I'm going to come over here and do right here, select objects. And I'm not going to select my water line. I just want to get the fire hydrant with the T connection. So I'm just going to window it. That's all that I'm selecting. So I hit enter. Now this is something that I want you to remember. If I hit OK, it would create the block. Now you may say, well, Mr. Dobson, you said I needed three pieces of information and you only put two. That is correct. But what I'm not telling you is by clicking OK, I'm accepting that Autocad is going to use 0, 0, remember your coordinates, as my base point. Uh, the main thing that I teach in my classes is that I don't want AutoCAD to decide anything for you. AutoCAD works for you. You do not work for AutoCAD. So if I just hit OK, it would set 0, 0. If my project was in the 100,000 coordinates, this fire hydrant would just be a speck of dust whenever I brought it in. So even if you're not sure of the insertion point or the base point, I'm going to go pick point. Just pick anywhere. Okay. I'm just going to pick right here just so it's at least in the drawing area. Now it's asking you right here, do you want to retain this? Do you want to keep this as it is with all the little pieces? Do you want to go ahead and convert it to a block and it'll make it a block in here? Or do you want to delete it? Meaning I'm going to make you a block, but it's going to take this away. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it and hit OK. So now I've created a block. Now, I'm going to go back over here to insert. This is still under this. And I'm going to go to insert block. If I go to more options, if you have a bunch of blocks, they'll all be listed here. Well, here's my fire hydrant. Again, it's saying this will be the insertion point, the scale, the rotation. These AutoCAD will do for you because you always want things to come in at 1 to 1. But I want to give it the insertion point. So I hit OK, and as you can see, there is my fire hydrant, and I've created a block. We notice I hover over it. If I go to move, I can just go to move, grab any piece of it. If I can get my move command to work, there we go, and it moves over here. Or I could go to copy, and I'm just copying it at all. I'm just keep hitting this, copying it all over the place. Okay. Now, one of the big reasons that I an enormous advocate for blocks is imagine, and I'm gonna go back here a little bit. Let's go back to where there's just one. Now, if you want a block and you want to put it back into its little pieces, you just go to explode. I'm not sure of where they have it over here. I'm going to look for it this time. Not sure of where they put it. I'm just going to give you the easy way. Just hit X and enter. Pick it, hit enter. Now this is all back to individual things. Okay. Now you might say, well, Mr. Dobson, why do I need to make a block? I'm going to copy. I could copy this thing all over the place, just like you did with the block. Okay, I'm going to kind of show you the before and after. So I did that, but earlier I had a block over here. I'm going to draw a line so we can know which ones. This is your individuals and this is your block. Okay. I'll try to draw as many as it's on that side. That looks about the same. So here's your coworker. They did it this way and you did it this way. Well, the boss comes in and tells you that the client doesn't want the valve on there anymore. Okay. So this person has to do one of two things. They can go through here and erase each valve and bring this line down, which would take forever. Or they could do that on one and copy it over all the times again. Okay. And just to exaggerate this, let's make it a little bit more interesting for you, because you might say, well, that won't take me very long. So I'm just copying these. So this person erases all of these and then creates one without a valve and then copies them all over again. But you, being the smart person, you go and you double click on this and now you can edit it. So it actually opens up the block for you to edit. I'm going to erase this out. I'm going to connect these lines and I'm going to hit close block. Do I want to redefine it? Yes. Now look at all mine. I've changed them all. Okay. And this is one of the really, really nice things about layers. Now, another thing to remember with layers, and I'm going to have to come over here and make, blocks. I have to make some layers. I was thinking about that. I'm going to just make a couple layers. We'll call layer 1 red. And layer 2 will be magenta. And layer 3 will be green. Now, one thing I didn't show you when I created this block, and I'm going to come over here, if you notice, everything is on layer 0. Everything I created was on layer 0. I'm going to get rid of all this so we can have a cleaner screen. So all this was on layer 0. That is the 100% correct way to make a block. When you make a block, all of your objects need to be on layer 0. Okay. Now I did the fire hydrant on layer 0, and this one right here, I'm going to take this whole fire hydrant and I'm going to put it on layer 3. And as you can see, all the individual things are green. So I'm going to come over here to insert, create a block. I'm going to call it fire hydrant wrong. I'm going to pick a base point and I'm going to select my object. I hit OK. I go to insert. There's fire hydrant wrong. There it is. Looks all fine and dandy. Okay. Now I want you to notice that I'm on layer 0. Okay. So I'm going to go to insert fire hydrant. I'm going to put that here. Remember, this is the good way, this is the bad way. And I'm going to copy these. down here 3 times. So this is on layer 0. This is on layer 0. And this is on layer 0. I'm going to change this to layer 1. I'm going to change this to layer 1. I'm going to change this to layer 2. I'm going to change this to layer 2. Okay, I'll just erase those. So what the reason of having it put on layer 0 is whatever layer I put my block on, it will take those properties. This will always stay green. Okay, unless I go in and have to do a hard change, take the time to do it. Any layer that I put this fire hydrant on will it will take the correct properties. That is why doing layer 0. Many people in this world working in AutoCAD do not know that. And again, that is one of the downfalls or one of the bad things of AutoCAD. It allows you to do things incorrectly that can still look right, because watch this. I'm going to copy these. I'm going to put this on layer 3. And I'm going to put this on layer 3. Well, what do you know? They're both green. Okay. But that's just like saying that even a broken clock is correct twice a day. If your clock's broke at 10:30 and it's showing 10:30 at 10:30 in the morning and 10:30 at night, it is correct. Okay. But that doesn't mean that it's a good clock. So working with the blocks can be a very powerful tool. Also, when we go to Wblock, this has these in this drawing. If I go and start another drawing, see if it'll do it for me here, and I come up here to insert, as you can see, there's no block in here. So if I go back over here, here's the individual one. Now, if instead of going to create block, I go to Wblock, it still needs 3 pieces of information. It needs a base point, it needs the objects, but instead of just needing a name, it needs a path, because it's going to take it outside the drawing. It will make it its own little AutoCAD drawing, and you can bring that into any drawing. Okay. So mine's going to go to user Randy's documents, new block. We'll just call it fire hydrant detail. So that's the name of it. We want insertion to be unitless. It's always best to do. Base point, I'll just pick over here. And then objects. I hit that. I'm going to go ahead and just retain it in this drawing. So see, it stays this individual thing. But now, if I go back over here to drawing 2 and I go to insert, this is for things that are in the drawing. Now I can go over here to browse, go to my documents, which is already going to that, and hopefully it's right here on top. Let me change my date, create it. There it is, fire hydrant detail. I double click on it. I want to specify the insertion point, and there's my fire hydrant. I can bring it in. That is how you create a library of drawings that you're going to reuse over and over again. You don't want to sit there and have to draw this over and over again, or you don't want to have to go back to your last project, open up a drawing, go find a fire hydrant, copy it and paste it into the new drawing. Again, this comes back to the organization, just like in layers, that you want to be as organized. Many people won't use blocks because they don't see a need for them. Again, blocks are there to help you if you need to edit, to do something that's, to do it very quickly. And again, just hitting X and enter will explode it. Now it exploded this one block, but I still have that block. It stays in this drawing now. Now it becomes a block inside of here. Here's the block exploded. It's all normal stuff. And here's the individual object that's all one. So, very powerful tool. Excuse me. And hopefully you will go and expand on it a little bit more and see all its uses. And that concludes my video on blocks and right blocks. Thank you.